So Aaron and I are heading out this afternoon, and I've got to take the mini bike out. I got the new Predator engine in there, and I've been kind of breaking it in, and now it's time to go put load on it and just give it some riding time. So we're heading down to the very south end of the Vegas Valley. Vegas Boulevard, world famous Las Vegas Boulevard, you know, runs along the Las Vegas Strip. If you keep going and going and going and going, it eventually just turns into desert again. So we're going to actually be going down Las Vegas Boulevard south past town, and there should be some areas where we can stop and get the bike out and yada yada yada. It was too windy this morning, kind of waited it out. I went outside and it was calm, pretty calm out. Well, it turns out all that was really happening was the wind was shifting directions. So the wind shifted, now it's windy again, but I already had the bike on, which brings me to my next point. As I was loading the bike, I got a little bit of a heartbeat going. It started, pounding a little bit. I don't know if I'm really that out of shape or what it was, but see, that's one of my triggers. And just that little bit of an extra, beady heartbeat just triggered a whole wave of just anxiety came over me. So I'm kind of in that mode. I'm trying to let it kind of filter out right now. And so again, dealing with it. So we're gonna just keep driving. I'm probably gonna hit some traffic here, but once we get past the traffic, we should be good to go. That's the part I wanted to get, but ain't gonna happen.
Right. So here I'm testing out my ramp, and it just worked great. I couldn't find anything on YouTube where someone was building something like this. Now I know there's probably millions of videos of people building stuff like this, but I couldn't find one, and I finally just came up with this. So FYI, It's quick, it's simple, it's easy. So this is the first pull. I get it out there, and it won't start. You know, these are simple engines, simple mechanisms. I'm like, what was it? Because I was bouncing around in the back. I mean, my head's spinning. And, you know, it starts with a gentle tug. And there's nothing like that disappointing feeling when you get out there and the dang thing won't start. So then I thought, I wonder if it's the low oil sensor. So I level it up, and it still won't start. But that turned out to be the problem. I came back a few minutes later and I thought, you know, I just leveled the bike out completely and it started right up and got the maiden voyage. And that was a good feeling. This is the culmination of many months of planning and prepping. Buying the new engine, putting it in, getting it out there. I think it probably sat for about a year before I actually got around to putting the new engine in it. And this was a good feeling. Just to get it running, just to know it worked. Yeah, it was a real nice afternoon. Windy. Oh, check that out. That's pretty aggro. You know, people might think, you know, what's this guy doing playing with mini bikes and toy cars and BB guns and slingshots? You know, I get that. I could see how that might come across as a little juvenile or a little weird. And sometimes I wonder myself, but what happened to me was unthinkable. And it affected me in a way that I can't quantify emotionally. And part of it, I think, is just me reverting to the simpler things. It's also the stuff I can afford. I mean, you know, I like to shoot the real guns too, but, you know, I'm not like it when I go to these gun ranges in these areas and I'll see these guys, these people blowing off hundreds of dollars of ammo. I can't afford to do that, so I can afford BBs and slingshots and stuff like that. You know, it runs a lot deeper than that for me, and I'm just taking a step back and doing things a little different now and doing things within my abilities and stepping back from the demanding work of physical labor as my side job as I was pursuing a career in music was intense. And I think I wore myself out a little bit. And there's also this element of, well, what now? I mean, I'm still dreaming, I'm still planning, I'm still trying to put something together. But I just reached a point where I had to find joy in simpler things. And I discovered that this carefree lifestyle that I'm adopting into, it's something. I'm sitting there while the rest of the world's out there just grinding away. Yeah, they're successful. They got all the big stuff. They got all the nice stuff. But they're at work all the time. I've already put my work in. And this is what I'm settling down into. there was a little snake hole about 35 yards away. I put a BB right in there. It's also about marksmanship. It doesn't matter if it's a real firearm or a slingshot or a BB gun, or if I'm just throwing rocks, darts, billiards, golf. It's all marksmanship for me. I would say that without question, I'm a decent marksman, but I'm a purist. And I just love the cause and effect of these activities. I have since I was a child. So am I reliving my childhood? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But I'm also discovering that there's beauty in the most simple things. And it's a beauty that I'd have never found had I not found myself walking down this path. So I had trouble with the low oil sensor, so I'll be disconnecting that. As far as symptoms go, I was dealing with tightness in my chest and a lot of shortness of breath, but I just ignored it. So I'd say it was overall a success. And so with this project finished, worked out great, better than I expected. I end a wonderful day. Still ever tormented by a pain I cannot describe, that I cannot quantify. And as I continue down this strange road, this odd path, I am both searching for something that I cannot find and running from something I cannot cope with. It's only me. I shall remain fascinated by the pure miracle of existence and revel in the complexity